Hello everyone and welcome to Documented Journey. Today I am going to be doing a study. I have a Patreon, and in my Patreon I have a sketchbook club, and in that club I give out different prompts each month or themes each month. And so I can just flip to last month. We did mugs and cups. And so I provide them with the theme. I provide them with 2 studies, and within that study you get a handful of reference photos. And then we do a meetup. This was actually a sketchbook with me for the exclusive video for Patreon. But then we do a meetup and we sketch and chat, and it's a lot of fun. So I am prepping for study number 1, and I thought I could bring you along. The study for the month is hands. So I have 2 reference photos that I pulled from in this sketchbook spread. It was my son's birthday, and so I kind of sketched this hand that was holding a cupcake, and then this hand is holding some pothos plant. I just went ahead and sketched that up. I'm just going to ink it with some ballpoint pen and then add watercolor to it, and I thought you might want to check out my process and follow along.
Recently I was chatting with a friend and we were talking about ballpoint pens. I'm obsessed, as you all know, and I have gone through many different barrels, and I say barrels because I have loved the Ballograph refills since I found them, which is many years ago. I was actually introduced to them from a friend on Instagram, but I used Bic before that, which works really well. However, Bic pens are of the wetter side, and so when you're sketching with them, they do like have these like paper fiber balls that kind of like, they look like little gummy boogers kind of at the end of the ballpoint pen, and you have to wipe those off every now and again. Whereas the Ballograph refills are a drier ink, and so you don't have as many of those little things that you need to wipe off, and so this is why I like them better. Also, the Ballograph layers really nice, and so it starts off lighter in color, like the black is more gray, but when you layer it on top of the, pen, when you layer the pen on top of the pen, it gets darker and darker and darker, just like you would watercolor. And because I'm really familiar with that technique, because I use it with watercolor as well, the Ballograph just suits my needs. Also, I will say that with any pen, depending on your paper, it applies differently. So for instance, I'm using a Royal Talon sketchbook right now, and although it may be absolutely horrible for watercolor, I'm not a huge fan because you can't layer. You can only layer when it's dry. And so blending out and things like that, wet on wet, is really difficult. But the ballpoint pen really glides nicely on this paper, and I really enjoy my ballpoint pen sketches on here. Okay, back to what I was talking about, where I have been through many barrels, and at first I was using heavier heavier pens, so copper pens from like Karas Customs and all that kind of stuff. And at that point, I really enjoyed those. I only sketched for maybe 30 minutes at the most, and I was using a little field note size. And so the longest I could really sit down and sketch, because I had little babies, was about 30 minutes. And that was pushing it. So using that heavier pen, it didn't bother me so much. And people used to ask me all the time, like, does your wrists hurt? And it just didn't, because I think I was just not spending that much time in my sketchbook. Well, now, fast forward to here, I am using a larger size. So this is about A5, skinnier, like A5 Slim. And this took me, if I wouldn't have condensed my footage and sped it up, it was over an hour to do the ballpoint pen and the painting, and I had already had it drawn on. So things have just changed, and so obviously my needs change, and I have been using the actual barrel that Karas Customs. I have been using the actual barrel that Ballograph sells. It's plastic. I have been known to crack them, but I do enjoy them. Another pen that I really like is by Queveco, and it is their All Sport line. It's metal, but it's really, really light, and so I'll use that sometimes as well. They have a ballpoint pen line. That's not what I'm talking about. I buy the Jet. No, the Jet. I don't know why I said Jet. I buy the gel pen barrel, and I can replace that with the Ballograph refill pretty easily. There is a hack that I have to use, and if you're interested in that hack, you can head on over to my Instagram, and I have it in my stories. But that's what I've been using these days, and I've really been enjoying it. Like I said before, this was the first study for this month. This month was actually February, and our focus was hands, like I said earlier. But I do a write-up on Patreon, and I talk about my process, how it went, how I liked the spread, all that kind of stuff. And then this is actually the second study that I did this month. I thought recording these would be fun, so that way you could see kind of how Patreon works. Normally they do not get these videos. They normally just get a post, and then we do a meetup at the end of the month focusing on the theme of the month, and we draw and we chat and we just kind of have a great time. We talk about supplies, we talk about life, we talk about all kinds of stuff. But that meetup is on Zoom, and it's normally an hour long, and I allow my patrons to pick the time. I just pick the day, and I pick the time that works best for most people, and then we go from there. So this is the second study for the month, and I just wanted to share with you again my process. It is the same as before, so I drew out my sketches, and during this month, I really didn't focus on how much time anything took me. So hands are not my strong suit. However, I do enjoy drawing them. So I gave myself ample time to make sure that proportions were correct and all that. Not always do I do that. Sometimes I don't have that much time to be able to devote to a sketchbook page. Technically, it's just a sketchbook. It's not supposed to be a perfect finished piece. I'm learning that. That is something that I am working on. But I do enjoy making things look proportionate. I wouldn't say that I'm a realistic artist, but I try pretty hard to make things look accurate. So with the left side of the page, instead of doing the ballpoint pen first, I'm going in with watercolor. I feel like this is something to talk about because it is a technique, a tip, I don't know, whatever you want to call it. But I enjoy both methods. 1, first starting with ballpoint pen, or 2, first starting with watercolor. I think that there is a difference though. So if you start with ballpoint pen first, you're going to have a more tight sketch because you're laying down a map pretty much of where you're going to put your depth for your paint. But with the pencil sketch first, your map is not defined. It's defined, but it's not permanent, right? So when you go to add your watercolor, the watercolor can kind of do whatever it wants. It has no set spot. The eye isn't already drawn to the dark parts, so you can kind of play with it a little bit more. So on the left side, you're going to see a piece that is looser than the right side. I prefer to do ballpoint pen first, only because I actually prefer just black and white sketches over a heavy watercolor painting, but that is my preference. I like to add a little bit of color just to spice it up, but by no means do I think that I add like a full watercolor painting to my images. I hope this is making sense in your understanding, but I think ultimately what I'm trying to say is if you are looking to paint looser, if you are looking to get out of your comfort zone just a little bit, I think trying one of these is a good start. You don't have to, you might be one that paints first and then ballpoint pens after. Try the other way. I try to get out of my comfort zone enough, but also I want to stay within my realm of medium because I think it's important to continue your practice. And also, when I'm looking through my sketchbook and I see myself trying different things with the mediums that I love, I get really excited. Whereas if I look through my sketchbook and I've tried someone else's style, I actually dislike that page wholeheartedly. Do I think it's important to try? Yes, but there is a part of me that I would love to try other people's styles, but put my own spin to it rather than just copying what they have. So I feel like this is a good middle ground to start. Switch up your application processes, right? So if you start with ballpoint pen first, well, next time start with watercolor first. Or if you are one that normally does a heavy outline of fine liner, maybe don't do that heavy outline and try to outline it with paint. These are all different things that you could try just to get yourself out of the comfort zone and to practice different techniques, but then still stick with the mediums that you love and that scream your style.
my shoe. And watching from the sidelines, counting the time upon the clock. Playing all my feelings, 'cause I don't know how to make it stop. Sleep all day, forget my just wanna run away. Wish that things were different in another way. I would be forgiven. Sleep all day, forget my just wanna run away. Wish that things were different in another way. I would be a winner. Pretty soon I'll move the cars off granite to get ready for the snow. Never saw you when you went to get out. There's so much that I don't know. Sleep all day, forget my just wanna run away. Wish that things were different in another way. I would be forgiven. Sleep all day, forget my just wanna run away. Wish that things were different in another way. I will be a winner. Sleep all day, forget my just wanna run away. Wish that things were different in another way. I will be forgiven. Sleep all day, forget my just wanna run away. Wish that things were different in another way. I will be a winner. I will be a
Thank you so much for making it to the end of the video. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, I would love it if you gave my video a like, maybe left me a comment. My question would be, did you sketchbook with me, or did you paint? Did you do anything artistic when you were watching this? Maybe you didn't, maybe you did. I would just love to hear what you did while you listen/watch to this video. Question 2, are you into ballpoint pen and watercolor? I had posted a video recently and I talked about how I kind of find the fact that I do the same thing over and over a little boring. And many of you messaged me and commented on the video telling me that no, it is not boring, it's refreshing. And so I'm curious, are you a ballpoint pen and watercolor artist too? Or do you just admire the fact that that's what I do? All these comments and everything would be fun to chat about in the comments below. If you have any questions, of course, you can add that there too. And I will see you in my next one. I am now 2 for 2. So this is really exciting and I'm really happy to be here. So until next time, everybody, I'll see ya.